So I'm very happy that we are here today and we know what we are doing. Let us not take this organization as an organization that will come to make money. This is not the organization to make money. It's an organization to liberate South Africa. This one.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to another epic episode. Welcome to Newsaluji, a political media channel that talks about politics. And I welcome you to please join me as we'll be talking about what has transpired during June 16. Because we know June 16, right? The political parties are celebrating the youth of 1976. The youth that was so adamant to go and fight the apartheid regime, and we know that the brutal apartheid regime responded by killing some of the students, right, who were protesting against the rulership and against the teachings. You know that the government at the time wanted to put Afrikaans as the first language, right? So the youth there in Soweto felt as if now the government is overreaching. Then they went out to the street and protested and faced the soldiers, the police, while they are carrying guns ready to kill them, and they said, "Not in my name." So the youth took some very big step in terms of bringing some regime change at the time. And remember, this was the days where apartheid was still everywhere and very strong in the country, to an extent that a lot of black leaders and black people, they were killed brutally. But the youth now took up the stones, took up the struggle and said, "Not in our name," right? So now the dawn of democracy came, and now the political parties have decided, or our government, I may say, have decided to make this a national day, a holiday whereby all those who have died and what has happened to June 16, what has happened in the past, those things will be commemorated, will be celebrated, to say that we remember the youth that fought for the right to freedom, right? So the political parties were out in their numbers on the streets, on the rallies, on the stadiums, in different events, just celebrating this special holiday. So as many things were transpiring, right? So now the MK party president Jacob Zuma took his jab against Floyd Shivambu, said something very shocking, astonishing about Floyd. Very, very shocking, right? So we're discussing that today. If one of us goes astray, said Jacob Zuma, we don't beg anyone here. Let me just tell you, we have already had 7 secretaries general in the MK party. We did not beg them. Even if they think they are big, you are loved, we don't care, said the MK party president. There are those who say they want to protest because of one decision we took. This means our party still needs work. We will fire anyone who does wrong in the MK party.
That is why, if you look seriously, you'll realize that if we have one of us, ophumeceleni asimncengi. Let me just tell you, abantu asebeke baba o secretary general kule sebe u7 manje. Ngoba sidlali. Noma ngabe uzazi ukuthi umkhulu, uyathandwa, uyikho konke, we don't care. We talk about our party. Laba bala kule party abathi mabebona umuntu engasebenzi sikhuluma lesazi ukuthi kwenze njani noma eneyinkinga noma onile, ebese sithi awusuke. Akekho umuntu odala ukuthi uyohlala esikhundleni kuyozangena ezulwini, ayikho lonto. Akuyona indaba yakho. If you don't know, ozubuza ukuthi kwenze njani. Kunabantu abaze bathi bafuna ukulokhu ukuprotesta ngoba sithatha idecision ethile. Kusho ukuthi ayikakheki le party le. Ayikakheki ngalendlela esifuna ngayo. Nginitshela impela. nani nivume impela nize nixoxe indaba nibhale ngayo yini yona lo sifuna inkululeko la asivikeli umuntu sikhuluma nomonke umuntu la nalabe sathi kuqala bahambe azange sibaxoshe wayihambela ngoba kwakunezinto ezirong singafuni ukubaphoxa sitsheni isizwe ukuthi boneni ngoba iningi labo loneli kukhulu manje waye bese ningena indaba eningayazi waye ke ningewona lokhuza nihlala nithi yini lento lephezulu lapha lenhlangano makuthiwa manje abadala kakhulu abaphethe kakhulu phezulu kuthiwa yini aniyona high command aniyona high command i-high command okufanele ukuthi ikhulume indaba zalenhlangano kowenza kahle nongenzi kahle kowenza inkinga nongenzi inkinga akuyona indaba yabenu le sengitshena abadala ke manje nothi ngani ngoba ibona ngizoyekuthiwa impela bazobe beprotesta kufanele ngabe sithola inkululeko silela inkululeko siphisa.
So what does this imply? Does it imply that Floyd is fired, or meaning that fired in the MK party, or meaning Floyd is fired from the position within the MK party, right? So what is interesting about this is that I believe that Jacob Zuma, when he attended now this rally had some backlash against Jacob Zuma. It was in a point of resistance, especially the reception of what Jacob Zuma got. He sensed now the atmosphere. He just sensed the level of acceptance from the members of the MK party. They were not so pretty much welcoming as they normally do when Jacob Zuma comes and appear. They will all be jubilation. People will start making noise, celebrating, just screaming his name out and even singing songs that endorse him, right? But now in this particular event, particularly this one, Zuma just received a very cold reception from the MK party members. I think Zuma, when he just calculated the reception and how just down the party members are, he felt the sense to say that no, there's this thing that I need to address on the table. There's this issue that I need to just come right about and just confess on what is really happening, not knowing that it is just messing things up. I mean, the approach that JZ used here was so unprofessional. It was wrong, and it was not supposed to be used by him, especially on how Floyd has been singing praises to Jacob Zuma each and every time he made a statement publicly. He will sing praises to Jacob Zuma. But for Jacob Zuma to attack him like that, why is it that if there were so many issues with him and Floyd or the leadership, they would have called Floyd aside and spoke with him privately and tried to resolve some matters privately? Even if Floyd Shivambu has done so many wrongdoings that they know that they don't want to tell the public because they are giving wrong signals to the public. The MK party is giving misinformation to the public because when they removed Floyd, they said it was about the Bushiri, the Malawi trip, right? But Jacob Zuma says that now he comes and says that if one of us goes astray, we don't back, right? And don't think that you are bigger than the party, and because you are loved, we don't care. So these are the ways that Jacob Zuma said. And in fact, Jacob Zuma is addressing now the big protest that has been planned by those who are in support of Floyd Shivambu, to say that is calling them to order, to say that no, it means the MK party has not reached the standard that is needed. If people will just protest for one person, because they had already 7 SGs and they didn't care about them. That's what Jacob Zuma is saying, right? And they removed them because they went astray. They never begged them, meaning including Floyd, they will never beg him. So the approach that Jacob Zuma had against Floyd, it was so demeaning. It was not a right approach for a person to be a professional. right? Because you don't just come out in the public. We are giving the media and your enemies what they want. This is what they wanted. That is why they were so quick to run with this, to say that you see now him, you see your MK party, right? But while Jacob Zuma was saying this, let me tell you why I said this gave wrong signals. This has nothing to say about whether you support Floyd or not, right? We're just talking about the reception, how did the event go, and what did JZ address when he spoke with the MK party members, right? So Jacob Zuma now comes. It was so very interesting to hear him say this, right? So he comes and gives now his side of the story to say that there were wrongdoings. And if anyone wants to know what is happening, they must have came to them and asked them what is happening, and they would tell, right? So it means that what they told us a week ago was not now the right story for them as a backup to say these are the reasons why Floyd is going. There's more into this as I was listening to Jacob Zuma. So meaning there are more crimes or more misdeeds that Floyd has done there, which they don't want all those things to come to the public, right? So they've been protecting this while they are giving us the wrong reason on why they let Floyd to go, right? So this means what? It means now Jacob Zuma failed to read the room. He failed to read the audience, even the members of the MK party, because his approach of addressing this is just making matters worse. This is what a nominal member, I would think in your position, will hear this as Jacob Zuma is saying, because he is not telling what is exactly are the trespasses of Floyd Shivambu. What are the sins? Where did Floyd go wrong? So that you'll give sound doctrine, you'll give sound information, whereby people will say, okay, if Floyd, for example, ate some money, then people would say, no, according to the constitution that he himself wrote, if you found doing this, you are out. Then it is fair. But now to cover things up and to say that people must come and ask you as if you never said anything about the matter, then that creates a problem. Because of why? We are acting harshly against Floyd Shivambu because just a few days ago, Phadi came publicly, even called a press conference and called Floyd to say Floyd must go. And not long ago, a few months ago, Duduzile Zuma, she came out and cursed at Floyd, just showing us that the relationship there was sour. And later, after all those people were not disciplined, like Phadi, like Duduzile Zuma, then after Phadi just calls at Floyd, then Floyd is out. So when you speak like this, you remind me, personally, I am reminded of Phadi to say, no, this is what Phadi wanted and the functions of Duduzile. Those comrades, this is what they wanted. Right? So when Jacob Zuma does not tell on exactly the diagnosis of the problem, I just see him taking the decision of what Phadi wanted and what Duduzile wanted to say Floyd must be out. Because if you are failing to address the real reason, telling us the real reason of the transgressions of what Floyd did, we'll just say no, but this is a propaganda, it's factionalism, it is mere because she's the founder of MK party. Gave you a direct order to say I want Floyd out. And they're coming now and say that these comrades who are going astray, we won't beg them, they just need to be released because they are not big, right? So I'm hearing more Phadi as an influencer on the decision than hearing what is exactly the problem of why you dismissed Floyd Shivambu. So that is where now the MK party is losing the balance. They are supposed to say exactly the transgressions of Floyd. But I'm hearing more of the decision of Phadi, and even Phadi herself, she was not clear when it comes to now the decision on why she wants Floyd out. Because the fictions are just feels like, no, maybe there are people who were just angry that Floyd maybe never consulted them in terms of saying that the youth limit will be 30. never spoke with the youth generally. Floyd took some decisions alone, and now he was in control of the party, and now he never gave us any positions, and we were hoping to gain some. And you know, things just became a mess and mess and mess and mess and mess. So the MK party, if it continues like this, Jacob Zuma has just shot himself in the foot. In the foot, because now the MK party is giving another image.